why your belt's a bad thing, why your belt's a good thing, and then how you feel about them.
So belts are a bad thing because it's a very subjective thing, as much as people try to make it objective, where it's like we have these requirements, blah blah blah, this, or some places this amount of classes, whatever horrible gym that might be. It depends on whatever the requirement is, but at the same time it's very subjective, and like each belt is not the same. It doesn't mean the same. Like, I'm a brown belt, yeah, but there's other brown belts that will fuck me up. There's purple belts that will beat my ass. There's probably blue belt. There's probably some 16-year-old, 15-year-old green belt. They'll tie me up in a knot in my gi and send me back to you guys and tell you I suck. But I can't compare myself to that kid. Just like there's old black belts that if you put a foot lock on them, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it. So, it changes, and I feel like it's tough because it makes people compare themselves, and you can't compare yourself, and it's like comparing apples to oranges to bananas, and it doesn't make sense, right? Now, what's good about it, yeah, it's a little bit motivating. You kind of have something to look towards and to work for, kind of like, a little carrot along the way or whatever. People like that, especially people that don't have like the self-motivation to get, because I come from wrestling, there's no belt.
Yeah.
So people that don't have a self-motivation to just be better, it gives them something to see that, okay, and some people are like, what's that called, like qualitative, like that, like people need to see like this type of progression. So it gives them that. And if you look at it properly, then that's your journey. That's your self-progression. My white belt wasn't your white belt, wasn't Jack's white belt, wasn't anyone else's white belt. I came in, I've been watching MMA my whole life. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't training the whole time, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I started wrestling because of that. I started Jiu Jitsu because of that. So when I started Jiu Jitsu, it wasn't totally like, what's a triangle, what's an armbar? I hadn't done it, but I seen it plenty of times. I'd been wrestling, and I was mentally like ready to go. So I jumped right into it, and I was able to roll, and I was able to do really good. But not everybody on their first day is gonna jump right in and roll and everything like that. So it's different, but you know where you started, and you know where you've come. And that's where you can start to kind of gauge what's going on. There's people that think that we should just go to no belts at all, like wrestling and everything, sambo and stuff like that. I could appreciate that. I could see that, because that is going to take that part away of like kind of the ego thing and comparing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're humans, and we're still going to compare ourselves no matter what.
Yeah.
So you could take the belt away, but we're still going to have that. So why change it? People just got to understand what it is, like, and that's where I said it's your self-progression. How much have you grown? That's something I had to learn too. Like, I used to do the same. Man, I roll this guy up, I this and that, and it wasn't from a bad place. It was just me being me. Like, I was like, I learned what you showed. Like, I'm doing what you showed. Like, I wasn't trying to be like an asshole. Yes, you measure your own self-progression and get better that way, because it means so much to get a belt, man. So it's easy to be like, oh, get rid of the belt, but it takes away a lot of the meaning, man, the sentimental value. Like, I work hard for that belt, and I learned a lot of lessons for each of those belts. I get guys that come in, they had whatever certain experience they might have had, and they come in and they tell me that they're a blue belt. And I'm like, you're a blue belt? And they're like, I mean, at least a blue belt. Like, I got blue belt level. Like, I mean, I never got promoted to a blue belt. And I'm like, oh, well, like, what makes you think you're like a blue, like, how long have you trained or what? And I'm like, oh, I mean, I got wrestling experience. And I don't say nothing. I don't want to bring anybody down. I'm not that type of person. but I'm gonna let a blue belt show you what they do, you know. So I'll have a class where a blue belt comes to visit from South Tampa, and this blue belt freaking puts on a show on these guys, and then they're like, oh, maybe I'm not a blue belt. maybe maybe he has a point, you know. It taught me to also to trust more in my coach and stuff like that he understands what's going on and that he cares. Because my coach, I used to get upset because there's certain people that started training around the time when I was training at certain other gyms that they got to black belt and I was purple belt still. Mm-hmm. And I was sad about that and I was frustrated. But I compete a lot, all the time. I wasn't by any means like sandbagging because I get my ass kicked a lot, so I wasn't sandbagging. But you know, it was also, he wasn't rushing me either. There's two extremes. There's like sandbagging, and then there's people that promote way too quick. He always told me, I'd rather to have a blue belt that can hold his own against brown, purple, black belts and be decent than to have a purple or a brown belt who's getting ran over by blue belts. And I understand that. I get that. Since I was a blue belt, we'd get visitors that come in different belt ranks and different people like that, and I would roll well with them, and I'd be like on their ass, and I'm like, whoa, where are you from again? Our association is fucking, it's not just because it's our association, but I mean, they're tough, man. Yeah. If I roll with a purple belt, it's rare that, I can't say that I ever have rolled with a purple belt in our association and it's been an easy roll. It's just not happen. It doesn't happen. Not that I've ever seen. We're not the best in the world, but I feel like we have a decent standard. That's where I try to say like I try to give the general idea, and I might have gone out of order. I apologize, but like white belt, you're going to get smashed. That's the point of white belt. And people don't like to say it, but in wrestling, there's a weeding out process. In any sport, there's a weeding out process. That's called conditioning. You start with conditioning before you even do the sport. Yeah. You're running every fucking day. Suicides. Push-ups, this, that, whatever. Because they're going to see who's going to quit. Who's not going to be there. Because I'm not going to waste time on you anyway. There's a narrative in Jiu Jitsu that anyone could get to black belt. That Jiu Jitsu is for everybody, right? That's what they like. Jiu Jitsu is for everybody, but it's not. You got to be real. At the end of the day, it's not. It can be. It can be if everybody wants it to be for them, but not everybody wants it to be for them. Because the white belt's survival. You have to survive. If you don't fucking learn to survive, you're not going to learn anything else. And I get white belts come in, they want private lessons because they're getting smashed and they want to learn to not get smashed. You have to learn to settle down and to understand. And through drilling, you're going to learn what they're doing to you, and that's going to help you. But me giving you a private lesson, okay, I'm going to teach you a couple of things, yeah, here and there. But especially brand new people, the most I can teach them is how to move, how to shrimp, how to do these things. There's no magic bullet I'm gonna be able to give you to solve jiu-jitsu. It's not gonna happen. It just takes time. So white belt survival. White belt is a weeding out process. Each belt is like you're just going through a strainer. The first one's got big holes, that's the white belt to blue, and then people fall off at blue and purple and brown, and then there's just a few last people that made it to the black belt. And so yeah, white belt, you gotta survive. We have green belt. So green belt means you learn to defend yourself a little bit already. You can hold your own a little bit. You're not getting submitted 15 times around. You know to keep your elbows in. You know to shrimp and get your guard back. That's green. And then once you get to blue, you've got like a solid understanding of defending yourself. Maybe you got a couple little sweeps here and there. And who knows, maybe a guard pass. But you got things that you're interested in. You start to find, oh, X guard's cool, this thing's cool, whatever. This guy kicks my ass a lot with this one, so I want to try that. Stuff like that. And then you play with it. But you shouldn't be like, you're like a specialist. You're like, oh, I'm a leg locker. No, what the fuck? No. You're a blue belt. You're gonna learn. I heard someone else call it like the buffet belt. Like taking things in. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit here, a little bit there. See what I like. Mm-hmm. Now you got your purple belt. Now you've been defending a little bit. You've been attacking a little bit. You got some white belts you can beat up on. Maybe you're starting to handle the green belts and stuff like that. And you start to find the things that are working for you a little bit. You start to play with the game. Maybe you like to, whatever, sleeve lapel. If it's no-gi, maybe you do have a heavy like ashi game. If you're with me, you got heavy back takes, leg locks, takedowns. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to take you down. It's aggressive and it's first. That's what I like, first. All right, and then leg locks, back attacks. Mm-hmm. Leg locks, back attacks. Transitions. I'm always teaching you guys the neon belly transitions, step over transitions. Get them lost, right? That's how I teach my jiu-jitsu. But that took time to figure it out. It wasn't always like that. What I like to do, I used to like to do X guard all the time. When do you see me in X guard? I don't know. That used to be my first guard that I liked, X guard and butterfly guard. Never in butterfly guard, but I played with it. I played with it for a long time as a blue belt. I played with it. I played with X guard, and I still use them here and there for certain things. I gotta use them to get to ashi and stuff like that. But that's when you start to figure that stuff out when you're purple. And then now, I guess where I'm at, brown, is sharpening up what you like to do. So right now, I like to scissor sweep. I like to scissor sweep to triangle. I like to set everything up off my scissor sweep. But it's like I gotta refine that. I gotta refine it to where I'm getting it to work on everybody. Not just the white belt, blue, purple, but it works on the brown belts. I can hit it on the black belts. That's when I'm gonna be ready, maybe one day when my coach decides to get the black belt. You've refined those things that you were getting your ass kicked by them when you were a white belt. You started to understand them enough to where you can defend. You're a green belt. You start trying to do them when you're blue. You start getting better. You know what you like when you're purple. Now you're brown. You know what you like. You know what works for you. Get really good at that shit. Now you get your black belt. Now you gotta start all over. Because now it's not about being good at your game. It's about learning jiu-jitsu. You did all this time. You found everything you didn't know. It's a big scary world out there. I'm gonna focus on this little part right here and stay safe. Boom, now you're a black belt. Good luck trying to just stay safe in one place. So you gotta do it all over again. And I used to hear that. Oh, black belt's like being white belt all over again. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. And then now that I'm moving up the ranks, bro, I am telling you that I get it now. I see it. I'm like, oh no. All of this work that I did was for me to start to understand jiu-jitsu. Now I'm doing jiu-jitsu. Maybe. I think so.
What the heck were you doing for the last 7 years?
Fucking around, Rex. Bullshitting. I was a kid fumbling around on the playground. That's what I was, Rex. It's tough. That's why I'm telling you that the more that you move up the rank, it humbles the shit out of you because you realize how much you didn't know and how much there still is to learn. It makes you shit yourself. When I got my blue belt, I'm like, hell yeah, I've been ready for this. When I got my purple belt, the fuck? Been ready for that. Where's my black belt? When I got my brown belt, I was like, whoa, shit. I'm brown belt. Damn, that's crazy. And I look at rolling with black belts different. Oh, they fuck me up now, black belts. I used to think, man, that's the other thing in jiu-jitsu. your coach, your upper belts, if they're proper with you, you're going to think you do shit to them. You're going to think you did something to them. And one day, you're gonna be like, my coach got way fucking better. What the fuck happened? And what happened is that you got better. Mm-hmm. And they had to take it a little bit more seriously and fuck you up a little bit more. And I mean, I was a blue belt running my mouth, fucking, oh, I did such and such to such and such and blah, blah, blah. And then now I'm a brown belt and they're kicking my ass. And I'm like, oh, they were playing. I'm a dumbass. I was really fighting hard. I really thought I was doing that. And they were just training. Wow. Blows my mind.